Deathcore Dre, No Brainer industry, the things about the entertainment industry. You might not know, but I'm gonna get you hip. So let me tell y'all this real quick. Fani Willis, she takes a stand in a hearing that could disqualify her from the Trump election case. I have a video of her very agitated and very worked up in court. This lady is always very confident and very just so stern, but she is very bothered in this video. I'm gonna play this video of it. I'm talking to her and questioning her, but before I do that, I need to read some of this information to y'all, just so everybody can understand what's happening and why she's here. So look, Fani Willis takes stand in hearing that could disqualify her from Trump election case. And if you don't know who Fani Willis is the prosecutor that is also trying to hem up Young Thug and YSL. This is the same lady right here. So anyway, Atlanta, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis took the witness stand Thursday to testify about her romantic relationship with a special prosecutor she hired to lead the 2020 election interference case against Donald Trump. I've been very anxious to have this conversation with you today, she told prosecutors. It's crazy how she's getting prosecuted. She's getting questioned. She's on the other side. But I'm sorry. Let me get back to it. The hearing could lead her removal from the case over what defense attorneys have described it as a conflict of interest because of her relationship with special prosecutor Nathan Wade. While on the stand, Willis said the prosecution has been lying about her relationship with Wade. It is highly offensive when someone lies on you, Willis said. Robin Yearty, a former coworker of Willis, testifies earlier Thursday that Willis's relationship with Wade began before he was hired as a special prosecutor in November 2021. Wade testified that they didn't start dating until 2022 and that their relationship ended last summer. So that's the summer of 2023. And so she say, so I'm assuming, yeah, this must be her former co-worker or whatever. During personal and uncomfortable testimony that spanned hours, Wade admitted to having sex with Willis during his separation from his estranged wife. Yearty's testimony threatened to undermine the prosecutor's credibility and upend the case against Trump and others who are charged with conspiring to overturn the 2022 presidential election results in Georgia. Trump and his co-defendants have argued that the relationship presented a conflict of interest that could force Fani Willis off the case. Wade sought to downplay the matter, casting himself and Willis as private people. This is him right here. There is nothing secret or salacious about having a private life, he said. Nothing. Let me read this little small print. Special prosecutor Nathan Wade is questioned by attorney Ashley Merchant during a hearing. So that is him. But let me continue. Wade said the relationship ended last summer, but that he remains good friends with Willis. He added that they were probably closer than ever because of these attacks. So he hitting that Jane again? That's what he's saying? But anyway, hours after probing questions from Wade underscored the extent to which the prosecutors who pledged to hold Trump accountable for themselves now under a public microscope with revelations about their personal lives diverting attention away from Trump's own conduct and threatening to derail one of the four prosecutions he confronts as he vies to reclaim the White House. Yep, yeah, Trump is getting ready to, he trying to get that spot back. But anyway, if Willis were disqualified, a council that supports prosecuting attorneys in Georgia would find a new attorney to take over who could either proceed with the charges against Trump and 14 others or drop the case altogether. Merchant alleges that, Merchant, oh, that's the Ashley Merchant is that lady right here. She's an attorney. Merchant alleges that Willis personally profited from the case, paying Wade more than $650,000 for his work and then benefiting when Wade used his earnings to pay for vacations the pair took together. Jesus Christ. Wade, who took the stand after the judge refused to squash a subpoena for his testimony, testified that he and Willis traveled together to Belize, Aruba, and California and took cruises together, but said Willis paid him back in cash for some travel expenses that he had charged to his credit card. She was very empathetic and adamant about the independent, strong woman thing, so she demanded that she pay her own way, Wade said. Let me see this. Do you think prosecutors in Georgia election case against Trump, should Trump be removed? No. Damn, this motherfucker said yes. Jesus Christ. Didn't mean this is whatever. Anyway. Oh, wait. Do you think prosecutors in the Georgia, I read that all wrong. My bad, y'all. Do you think the prosecutor in the Georgia election case against Donald Trump should be removed? Yes, actually I do. I see, reading is fundamental, folks. I meant to put fucking yes. God damn it, you can't fix it. It don't matter anyway. But anyway, Wade was pressed by defense attorneys to answer uncomfortable questions about his relationship with Willis, prompting objections from the district attorney's office. The hearing began with legendary sparring between lawyers over who must answer questions. It is expected to stretch into Friday. Willis's removal would be a stunning development, the most spiraling of the 4 criminal cases against Trump. Even if a new lawyer went forward with the case, it would very likely not go to trial before November, when Trump is expected to be the Republican nominee for president. At a separate hearing in New York on Thursday, a judge ruled that Trump's harsh money criminal case will go ahead as scheduled, with jury selection starting on March 25th. In a court filing earlier this month, Willis' office insisted that she has no financial or personal conflict of interest, and that there are no grounds to dismiss the case or to remove her from the prosecution. Her filing called the allegations salacious and said that they were designed to degrade headlines. Wade said in an affidavit filed in the court that their relationship began after he was hired, and that they have never lived together. Since the allegations of the inappropriate relationship surfaced, Trump has used them to try to cast doubt on the legitimacy of Willis's case against him. Other Republicans have cited them in calling for investigations into Willis, a Democrat who's up for re-election this year. My bad, I keep clearing my throat, man. I got this slight little sickness, man, but I gotta make the content for y'all. And for that, man, I need y'all to subscribe to my account. I'm out here, man. I'm out here putting this work for y'all, man. I'd appreciate it, for real. But anyway, Roman's lawyer Merchant subpoenaed Willis, Wade, 7 other employees of the district attorney's office and others, including Wade's former business partner, Terrence Bradley. Bradley took the witness stand earlier Thursday, but refused to answer questions from Merchant, citing attorney's client privilege. McAfee said during the hearing Monday that Willis could be disqualified if evidence is produced demonstrating an actual conflict or the appearance of one. He said the issues he wanted to explore at the hearing are whether a relationship existed, whether that relationship was romantic or non-romantic in nature, when it formed, and whether it continues. Those questions are only relevant, he said, in combination with the question of the existence and extent of any personal benefit conveying as a result of the relationship. Is that it? That is it. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to this bothered ass video of Shorty freaking out. More so than I've ever seen her. Play it.
You ever paid him through cash?
Well, yes. We're talking about, I'm very confused.
You've never
now.
given Mr. Wade money through CashApp?
No.
The only money you've ever given him outside of a contract is cash.
I didn't give him money in a contract, so that was cute, but I didn't give him money outside in a contract. What happened no, we're going to answer it since you said it. He worked more hours than he was paid, and the county paid him for the work that he did. So don't be cute with me and then think that you're not going to get an answer.
And I will ask you about the contract in a minute. I asked you about cash. Did you ever pay him anything? And I'm trying to qualify my questions. I'm not talking about the contract with Fulton County that was paid. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about outside of that. Did you ever pay him anything other than cash?
I've only given him cash a few times in the course of what we're talking about.
So if we would go to dinner,
let her finish her answers.
If we would go to dinner, I wouldn't give him cash because he paid for dinner or I paid for dinner. I've given him cash only a few times in life, probably 4.
okay.
Probably the most money I've ever handed him is $2,500. The least amount of money I've handed him Probably between $500 and $1,000.
You never wrote him a check?
Ma'am, I don't have checks.
Okay. So you have no proof of any reimbursement for any of these things because it was all cash, right?
The testimony of one witness is enough to prove a fact.
So my question, only ever paid him through cash?
Let me see if I can find more on that. Let's see. Oh shit, my bad. Fani Willis. I want to see, because it's funny. It's funny watching her. Okay, here we go. We do got more. Subscribe to my account, like I said, if y'all haven't already, man. I'd appreciate it.
Folio Solution.
I'm not as versed as him. He's been to 6 of the 7 continents. And so he has both a personal travel agent and he also has a cruise travel agent. I don't know anything about either of those kind of travel agents. So he is the one that would book the travel, but we need to be clear when we're talking about just because he booked it doesn't mean, like, I don't consider him having taken me anyplace. Let me just be honest. The only point that's ever taken somebody someplace is for his 50th birthday. I consider that I took him to Belize. And I took him to Belize because...
Here we go with the semantics. Well, he never took me anywhere. I took him. He never took me because I paid for my own trip. Man, listen.
Because, I don't want to discuss his personal business, but I'm happy Mr. Wade is still here with us. And I did 50 big. Very big.
So still on that October Royal Caribbean cruise, even though he had a travel agent. I'm sorry?
If you do me a favor, I don't know what cruise ship, what time. So if you'll help me and say October cruise with Mama or the New Year's Eve trip with his sisters, I'll be able to, we can communicate. I just don't know what ship.
October cruise with Mama. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He paid for the cruise and the flights for that trip.
So he called his cruise agent and he booked that through them because he has a cruise agent.
Right.
He also has a regular agent. I don't know the cruise agent's name.
So I wasn't asking about his travel agent. I was just asking if he paid for those.
He did not, though.
Okay.
Because the reason I consider that he did not is I gave him his money back.
And I was about to ask that. But initially, he paid for that.
Yeah, he called his cruise agent. Like, I think they have his card on record. They do whatever.
Okay. So initially, he paid for the cruise and the flight to Miami and the Royal Caribbean cruise.
And my understanding of that October cruise is like it was a package the lady did for him.
Okay. And I'll get to the reimbursements and all that. I'm just trying to confirm he paid for the flight and the cruise in October.
And I think that when you say things that way, I want this record to be
Initially.
abundantly clear that he calls his travel agent, he calls his cruise agent. They do whatever he tells them. He's like on a first name basis.
You know what's so funny? Like, she getting questioned the same way she questioned other people right now, but she don't like it.
These people, they do it, and then he tells me how much it is, and I give him the money back. I don't, just like you're asking me about the money with Robin, I don't do my friends like that. So if you tell me it's a G, then you're going to get $1,000. Whatever it is, I didn't ever make him produce receipts to me. Whatever he told me it was, I gave him his money back.
Isn't it true that he paid for the cruise and the flight on his credit card? I'm not asking about reimbursement or after. He used his credit card to buy the cruise and buy the flight, correct?
I have no idea how he paid for it, if it's a credit card, if it's a debit card, but certainly he called his cruise agent. You know, like how many people have a cruise agent? He calls his cruise agent, tells them where they want to go. They tell him what's booked. And you have to remember, he paid for, that initial was me, him, and his mother.
And then after that cruise, you all flew to Aruba and spent a couple days in a hotel there, correct?
Right, and his mother was not happy
He
that we left her
initially
behind.
paid for that. He initially paid for that.
For Aruba, yes, ma'am.
So let's talk about both of those. I know he initially paid for it. Did you pay him back?
For the cruise and for Aruba, yeah, I gave him his money before we ever went on that trip.
You gave him cash before you ever went on the trip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so when you got cash to pay him back on these trips, would you go to the ATM?
No, lady.
You would not go to the ATM?
No.
Okay. So Fulton County pays you direct deposit, I assume?
Yes, Fulton County and the state of Georgia both pay me direct deposits.
Okay. So the cash that you would pay him, you wouldn't get it out of the bank?
I have money in my house.
You have money in your house. So it was just money that was there.
When you meet my father, he's going to tell you as a woman, you should always have, which I don't have, so let's don't tell him that. You should have at least 6 months in cash at your house at all times. Now, I don't know why this old black man feels like that, but he does. When we were growing up, my daddy had 3 safes in the house. So my father's bought me a lockbox, and I always keep cash in the house. Now, I don't do it to the degree that my father would do it, so he would probably be ashamed with me, but I always have cash at the house. That has been, I don't know, all my life. If you're a woman and you go on a date with a man, you better have $200 in your pocket. So if that man acts up, you can go where you want to go. So I keep cash in my house, and I don't keep cash as good in my purse like I used to. I don't go on many dates, but when you go on a date, you should have cash in your pocket.
So my question was, where did that cash originally come from? If it didn't come out of the bank?
Cash is fungible. You had cash.
You don't have to be at a point in your life
All right,
where you
man.
feel like
Listen, if y'all want to go watch the rest of that video, man, go ahead. It's right here on Law and Crime Trials. Y'all seen, you just type in, you know, Trump prosecutor, DA Fani, Willis. You know what I'm saying? Watch the rest of that. But subscribe to my account if you haven't already. She seems very agitated, man. I think she's capping. She's a goddamn liar. Him her ass up, get her up out of there, man. Just some, she bullshitting us right now, man. You could tell she bullshitting us. Like, let's be 100, bro. But anyway, go watch this video right here, man. Hit the subscribe button right here, and I am out.